Name, The Good Liar. Did you see it? I did. One sentence summary. Ian McKellen tries to con Helen Mirren out of her fortune with dramatic consequences. Could you beat the villain? Yes, I could. With the greatest weapon of all time. Time. So Ian McKellen plays a guy known as Roy. And Roy is a smoker. And Roy is old enough to have fought in World War II. And this film, for some reason, is set in 2009. Like, both the characters are getting on. But basically all I've got to do is wait for him to get sick. And then the NHS waiting times will finish him off. He even says so in the film. He's like afraid of getting ill and having to rely on the NHS. He wants some dollar in the bank so he can pay for private healthcare. So yeah, all I got to do, wait him out. Pretty easy. Definitely wouldn't fight him in a train station. How do you improve the film? Really enjoyed this. If you've ever seen a film, you know, about a con man, you know how it's going to end. But still, it was a good ride anyway. Having said that, a couple of little points. I like the titles at the beginning being, you know, from a typewriter because that tied into the film. But why not call them Sir Ian McKellen and Dame Helen Mirren? Just respectful. The big twist, as I say, you're expecting it, but it does kind of come unearned, as if it were, because it's literally like, oh, don't you remember? Points at a picture of some lilies, and then we're introduced to a character we've never even heard of before, and that character puts the plot in motion, and so on and so forth. Let's have a look. What else? Right, Helen Mirren could have avoided being stabbed in the hands by that carpet tract if she was just paying attention. Like, she needs a tetanus shot, something like that. She needs to be more alert. Why didn't Vincent, Roy's mate, try and warn Roy about the whole situation that he's getting himself into? I thought they were dudes. I guess there's no honour among thieves. If you're going to do a murder and you're going to ditch your coat, which could tie you to the crime because of like blood splatter, probably ditch that coat a little bit further away from the crime than like 20 foot. Like, at least leave the train station before you chuck it in a bin. There's a weird Pretty Woman scene in this film where Helen Mirren is buying Ian McKellen a hat and a new cane. They didn't do the music, which was disappointing. But that scene is set in Lock & Co, the hat maker company people, and there's a similar bit in Kingsman where they get referenced. So I'm thinking that maybe these films are set in the same universe. That'd be interesting. I'll beg for your forgiveness. I forgave you long ago. I don't know, Helen Mirren. Seems like you're going through a lot of trouble for something you've forgiven a long time ago. There's a bit where Helen Mirren apparently has a stroke and she falls on the floor, but she does it with very little sound. I think you only really hear her going, oh, not like, ow. There you go. If you're going to do some covert spying on people, maybe do it in a car that doesn't have a distinctive scratch on it. Just a little helpful tip there. Sod the rest of the holiday, let's go home. No, mate, we've already paid for the rest of the holiday. We're going to Venice and Paris, whether you like it or not. In my opinion, the weakest part of this film was the flashbacks. So a dude's face gets shot off by a pistol, and I'm sure getting capped at point blank range is going to mess you up. But like, his whole face was like off. And then, spoiler alert, Ian McKellen steals this guy's identity. And he explains away how he was able to do that with like, well, everyone said that we looked quite similar. And all I had to do was, you know, sweet talk my way onto a carrier plane and I was back in Blighty the next day. So I don't know. You look similar. I saw the actors. They didn't have the same face. Also, I don't know if it's that easy for a soldier to just go, I need to go home for a bit. I know we're in Germany now, but I need to go home. So they'll just go, yeah, alright, off you go. You really the soldier you say you are? Because you look a lot like the German translator that we also work with. No, definitely the soldier. Okay. So there you go. The computer keypads that the bank hand out in this are bloody massive, and they look like the phones for people with limited vision. Like, I remember 2009, we had technology smaller than that. I can't think why anyone would want to break in. You're a con man. You rob people and piss them off all the time. It's probably one of the people who you've upset. Pay attention, Ian McKellen. It's so sad he lived his whole life without a scratch, only to be beaten up by thugs and have a stroke. There's a plot point in this story about the scar on his neck, so he has technically got a scratch, nurse lady. Betty, where's all the furniture gone? Come on, mate. Like, you must have put it together. Something fishy's going on. You've come back to the house and there's nothing there. Think it through. You've been outfoxed. Rating out of 5 beers, give it a 2. Pretty enjoyable. Only slightly uncomfortable when there was a potential sex scene coming up between Ian McKellen and Helen Mirren. But apart from that, good.